sort of what the industry did in the past 10 years, it did something amazing. Like as Tad mentioned, kind of in Sultan. So the growth has been tremendous. But sort of, I'm just talking about some challenges, which is kind of we are facing, and because it's interesting when we have challenges, when it's not fun when we have no challenges. So what do we offer? One of the solutions we have is a very simple solution, and it's inspired by Y Combinator. What we have in Kazakhstan at the moment is that there are sort of programs which give grants. There are accelerator programs which don't give money. So you have to meet them in the middle. You have to do both. You have to do acceleration for startups and give them money. So very simple, 2 batches per year, just like YC, 3 months each, 100 companies per batch. Very small amount of money, $20K for 5% of a company. You can, so basically for $4 million, you can create 200 companies. For $20 million, you can create 100,000 companies. Very, very simple math. Nothing, not sort of quantum physics, not rocket science. Really, really simple. It takes $20 million to create 1,000 new companies. I'll explain why in a moment. So how can the incubator help? We can help with distribution because we have a podcast, we have a bunch of different things. We can tell your story and lower your CAC, lower your customer acquisition cost. Number 2, we can connect you with later stage VC funds, which we have quite a few, and there are quite a few venture firms outside of the country as well, who can help with recruiting by helping you hire our coding bootcamp graduates. And we have quite a big network of YC and textile graduates. And I think one of the strong things we can do is to, when you apply to YC, your application comes to sort of the internal website, Y Combinator's internal website, and alumni can refer you if they like you. And that's actually a strong signal. So, now the question is 20,000 enough? It's like really, really small amount of money. In today's world with cloud, like 20 years ago, it was not enough. Now it is enough. Here's why. You just need 2 people, one doing marketing, one doing software engineering, no PMs, no CEOs, like just 2 people. Here's a budget breakdown. 2,000 goes to cloud credits, or you can get it for free from Yandex Cloud or Google Cloud. That's even better. You save money. You can spend 7,000 on customer acquisition costs and 12,000 on your salaries. So this is enough for 2 people at the age of 30 plus to quit their cushy job at consulting or Big Four and try doing a startup. I'm not talking about students. This is like a program for 30-year-olds, people who know something, who are, because there is a study that the most successful founders, they are not 20-year-olds, they are 36-plus-year-olds, right? It's a well-known study. So 6 months is enough. If it doesn't work out, you go back to Big Four. It's a risk-free, kind of a risk-free proposition. And then, obviously, once this money runs out, you have to get to a next round, which is probably like $100,000. You can raise it from our friends from Saudi Arabia, for example, or from Sanat's Kaz Innovations. There are quite a few programs there, right? So now the question is there enough founder material? Probably not, but we can help facilitate that by doing some really quick, like, I don't know, like blind dates between 30-year-old people who want to do startups, so they can meet their co-founders. Similar programs already exist in the US and Singapore. On Deck being one of them, Antler is another one, so we don't have to invent anything new. Now that's problem number 1. Now let's talk about problem number 2. We have a very, very little venture capital per capita in the country. So if you look at venture capital in the US, it's roughly $1,000 per person. It went down a little bit in 2022, as Ibrahim mentioned, but it's roughly $1,000. In China, 74. In Kazakhstan, according to the report from our friends at Most, there was I think $35 million of venture capital investing happened in 2022. So that means it's like 1.84 per person. So I heard that the number went up to 100 million last year, so it's still small amount, $5 per capita, very, very small. So now I'm offering you the solution, which is coming from 2 of my friends. It's not my solution. It's coming from Murat Abdrakhmanov, who is a leading angel investor in the country, who has done a tremendous job to really help startups in the country, and Marjan Madiv from Astana Hub. So a very, very simple idea. I think it will happen in the next maybe couple of years. So the government fund, it's already happening in Saudi Arabia, as you can see. So we need to catch up. It's happening. So
in 2018, the VC investment in Saudi Arabia was $94 million. 94. Now we are in 2023. It's $1.38 billion. So it's the right move.
10x growth in Saudi Arabia. Well, that's amazing. So we would love to sort of follow the path. So very simple program. $100 million coming from government fund of funds. It's investing in 10 new venture firms, 10 million in each. But to be able to unlock this capital, this firm has to raise 5 million from the market. So it's a 50 million bucks total, $150 million of new venture capital in the market. So from 100 right now, it will be 250 through that program. And 100 million bucks really is a very small amount for the government, but it can make a tremendous impact. Imagine the number of startups we can create, because it's a numbers game. The reason why China and India and the US is winning is because they just have so many more attempts, right? It's a well-known fact. Being sort of a Beethoven or Mozart, they produced 1,000+ songs or 1,000+ tracks and compositions. We know them from 1 to 2. Mark Zuckerberg, this was like his idea number 5. Let's see, like Angry Birds was a successful game from Rovio in 2010. There were 51 unsuccessful apps before. It's a numbers game. You have to produce more to produce more unicorns. And the last piece, I'm just a kind of an unconventional piece of advice to everyone in the audience. It's very common these days to say that you have to focus on your strengths. I suggest you to not focus on your strengths. Focus on your weaknesses, because generative AI is a leveling playing field. No one is a pro. If someone tells you that they have 10 years of experience in Gen AI, they're lying. They have only 1 year. It's a new field. Everyone is equal. Everyone is a beginner, and we need to focus on our weaknesses. We have a chance to build something like epic. So really quick. So there is a great founder. His name is Rich Barton. He's from Seattle. He used to work in Microsoft. He's a founder of 3 very, very successful companies. One of them is, you know all of them. Expedia, Glassdoor, the marketplace for real estate, blanking on the name. Oh my goodness, Zillow. So Zillow. So he came up with something cool recently. He's a 50-plus-year-old guy, but he did something interesting in his strategy session at Zillow. He separated his top management team into 2 teams, blue team, red team. Blue team has to come up with ideas on how to protect Zillow's business given the threat from Gen AI. And the red team has to forget everything Zillow did in the past 10 plus years and imagine that they're building Zillow from scratch in 2024. And what would it look like with Gen AI? I think it's a very cool exercise, very useful exercise for a lot of big companies in the country. So a lot of things happening. So the guy in the middle, his name is Johnny Ho. He's the IOI champion from 2012. The reason I'm putting him here is because at the moment he's a founder of Perplexity, which is one of the leading Gen AI companies in the world. Thanks to Perplexity, in the past 6 months, I barely use Google. I just go to Perplexity. It's amazing. Like I just did the following search recently, like yesterday. Unlike when you ask Chris from ChatGPT, it will tell you, hey, my knowledge ends with April 2023. I'm sorry. Here you go. What was the attendance like at Digital Almaty? 30,000 people. It's a really quick way to find results. Instead of 10 blue links, it just gives you the answer. You don't have to read the 10 blue links. It's a past. So Perplexity is creating this new phenomenon when you couldn't. And the startup was created in August 2021. It's just two plus years old, and it's already kind of creating a very important threat to Google. Another company I would like to mention was started by the lady in the middle. Her name is Demi Guo. She's founder of a company called Pika Labs, which is a very important text-to-video LLM. They basically produce, you just tell it, you give a text, Ibrahim playing soccer with Cristiano Ronaldo. That's it. And it gives you, it spits out the 10-second video, a very realistic one. It's happening already. It will be disruptive to Hollywood, disruptive to the way we produce videos. Again, 2 years old, very, very new. And to another point, both of those people, they are coming from competitive programming background. And very important news, in September of this year, the World Finals, the ICPC World Finals, the most important programming competition in the world is going to happen in Kazakhstan. So I invite you all in September to Astana. #1 people in the world will be competing here. It's a very, very important event, and I would love for you all to watch it. It's basically like the World Cup of nerds, where they have to solve 10+ problems in just 5 hours. And the last piece, so as I mentioned before, right, I'm focused on your weaknesses, right? I mentioned that we have to do something with Gen AI. Another piece which we shouldn't forget, that every so often, every 10 years, there is a new computing paradigm. In 80s, it was personal computers. In 90s, it was internet. In early 2000s, it was mobile, right, 2007. In sometime around 2010, 2009, it was sort of a Web3 blockchain. But now a very new computing paradigm is happening. And I think that the next Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they are not going to be building companies on top of PC or internet. They might be building a company on top of Vision Pro, for example. It's a new platform. Everyone is a beginner. Everyone is new. So I welcome you to build something on top of it. And as always, be so good they cannot ignore you. Thank you.
Sultan, before I told that he's genius, so energy, experience and competitions. На самом деле вот здесь много